All right. So when it comes to running a successful business, there's two things that really have to be outlined and structured. One is an organizational chart, and that's who does what in your salon or your company. Two will be position agreements. And each one of the people in your organizational chart should have a position agreement that they agree on with you as the owner to make sure that there's a standard being set. And so I'm going to give you my front desk position agreement. I'm going to go through right now, line by line, to show you exactly what a position agreement looks like. This is based off my handbooks I created. So if you have anything in this position agreement that I'm showing you right now that you wanted to add, you want to take away, please feel free to make it your own. So let's just jump right in. First, if you're watching this video, below the video right now you're watching will be a link to this exact agreement in a Google Drive, so you can edit it very easily. And then we're going to just head right into the agreement right now. All right, front desk coordinator position. The Warehouse Salon, like I said, you can edit this in the position agreement I give you. You want to have a position overview. So you want to make sure they know the title, the primary role, who reports, like who they report to, and then who's the direct report of this person. So a front desk coordinator, they would have the assistant front desk coordinator. They can't be there all the time. So people need to kind of fulfill the position, especially when it's really busy. So you may have one or two people at the front desk that just are in the salon during like lull hours or when it's not too busy. Now the front desk coordinator is going to be doing stuff in the salon. So someone needs to man that front desk. This is your assistant front desk coordinator. That's who is a direct report to this position. And the employment type, it's full-time, part-time, whatever you want to put. For this instance, it's full-time. And then effective date, put the date that we signed this. Now, quick little blur about who a salon coordinator is. So the salon coordinator oversees all operational aspects of the salon, including scheduling, team coordination, and client experience management. This is who this person reports to. So they need to know exactly what role that is. Now, strategic purpose and systems accountability, your career impact. You want to let this person know exactly what they're doing for the salon and how important the role is. Every person from the assistant to the front desk to anyone in your salon, they all need to work together and they all have an equally important role. I don't care what anyone says. Without the assistants, the stylist can't really perform. Without the front desk, the stylist can't get appointments booked. So we all need each other. And this just outlines exactly how important the role is. So you're a customer experience and client relations specialist for the Warehouse Salon. This role is the foundation of our client relationships and directly influences our success. Every interaction you have builds our reputation and creates lasting client loyalty that drives growth. You want to set them up for success. You want to give them the right mindset and the right frame of how important this role is. So systems excellence. Every task has a documented procedure. You're going to give them clear guidance. Consistency is achieved through systems, not mood. You want to let them know, hey, even if you're in a bad mood, you still have to show up for the position. Leave everything outside the salon. Continuous improvement is built on, into daily operations. Growth and advancements are part of your career path. We're going to help them grow as individuals and in this role. So now we jump right into daily responsibilities. So we go over the cash draw management, phone excellence, guest wait time monitoring. So if anyone's like running behind in the salon, they have to make sure that that guest is being attended to, and we monitor how long that person is waiting for. Next day confirmation calls, guest preparation, make sure they're preparing the guest, make sure there's, coffee being made, make sure there's creamers in there, make sure that the space where the guests sit before they get greeted by their stylist is clean and welcoming. Now we have appointment time and coordination. Make sure that the whole team is running on time. If not, then call ahead and try and move that book back. This role is really important to make sure that the client experience is seamless and it's wonderful. So they go home and tell all their friends about the salon. Opening procedure, launch your booking software, your point of sale, review the night before's notes. If there's anything going on in the salon, they have to know what's going on too for this day. Verify the cash count, and then coordinate with a virtual assistant if you have one working in your salon. This is something I teach in the program. You can't do all the things. So it's really important that you have somebody handling your emails as a virtual assistant, any kind of a social media coordination, any kind of messages. So you have a virtual assistant that's kind of around the clock helping support the salon in every facet. Message and appointment management. Check the voicemails, text messages, emails. This role is super important. And don't forget, if they can delegate this to an assistant front desk, that's awesome too. But they're in charge of this. Front of the house preparation, like I said, coffee, beverages, Make sure everything in front of the area is all neat and tidy and it doesn't look crazy, especially if you have kids that come in your salon. They have a tendency to wreck that area. So make sure that it's being managed properly. Closing procedures. All right. So if they're opening, there's going to be some closing procedures that need to get done. If they're closing, these procedures are important. They have to make sure that the person they're handing this off to is set up for success. So this just goes down through their closing procedures. Verify the cash and check count. Make sure that all the stylist notes from the clients have been entered into the system. Cross-verify booking software and POS system records. So make sure if you have any kind of weird systems, like you ring people out through Clover, but you book appointments through Fresha or like Mevo, that's all coordinated properly. Now, client interaction protocols. You want to make sure that each guest is being greeted properly. So the initial greeting, hi, hey, Jennifer, always trying to use their first name. Hey, Jennifer, welcome to the salon. Now, if you don't know it, it's a new time client, you could know who the clients are, right? So if it's not somebody and you know someone's coming at 1 o'clock who you don't know, hey, Stephanie, right? You're here for Brianna. So have them be very friendly and outgoing. It's an important part of that role. Now, we just go through the guest experience and standards here. Phone consultation excellence. You want to make sure they understand how to have a proper consultation. This is a hair salon. When a front desk person says, oh, I don't do hair, it's not my thing, that drives me frigging bananas. You are part of the team. You should be trained in how to have a consultation so you can pass that off to the stylist. So make sure they understand how to have a proper phone consultation so they can book that person with the proper stylist. We don't quote prices over the phone. They have to come in for that. Now, within reason, like if a haircut 75 with Jennifer, then you could say haircut 75 with Jennifer. It does depend on length and density if that's what you have in your system. Phone etiquette standards. So make sure they try and get it on 3 rings, right? If they're flustered, teach them how to take a deep breath so they answer the phone the same way, happy and consistent all the way through the whole entire day for each client. Appointment booking management. So if someone booked a wrong service, you teach them how to have that conversation. Appointment cancellation policy. So you want to take them through those steps. This is all in the handbooks that I provide for people, but this is also in the position agreement. So this is a great document for any of you who didn't get the handbooks yet, or you aren't in the coaching program. No-show policy and communication. Late arrival. So it's important that they communicate with guests. We know things happen. And if something has to happen for that guest to maybe go see somebody else, they need to be outlined here so they know exactly how to speak to that guest and let them know how we handle that situation. Now, client deposits, you want them to understand how to use that verbiage, explain to them exactly how to ask for it and why we ask for it, and explain any kind of policies about rescheduling and cancellations that you have. Same thing with bridal party if you do that stuff in your salon. Redo policy. The client must call within 1 week of the original appointment. So if there's a redo and someone calls, you want the client to actually call right away. It can't be like 3 weeks down the road. So let them know that if there's an issue, if you see something going on with the hair, right? And you're a front desk person, you know what's going on. Someone doesn't look happy. You want to ensure that they leave happy. This is a very hard thing to do as a front desk, but make sure the client, hey, if there's anything funny with your color, it doesn't style right at home, just do me a favor, give us a call in the next couple of days so we can get you back in here again. This ensures the client that they feel, like they're being heard, but it puts them at ease because a lot of times the clients will be honest with the front desk person, not with the stylist. So this is your second layer of protection to make sure you ensure that guest experience. Digital communication. Guys, we live in a digital age right now. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, email, Google messages, all this needs to be handled by somebody. If you're the owner, you can't handle all this. So make sure this front desk coordinator understands how to handle this. We have scripts for all this too. So it's not just up to the front desk, the imaginary, how to do this. We have something called the chat to chair method, something called the simple client flywheel. They're going to learn how to implement this right here. So chat to chair is like they open conversations on Instagram or whatever platform. It could be LinkedIn. The simple client flywheel, it's a marketing system that we use to get clients to call the salon or future clients to call the salon. And there's some outreach that needs to happen. They're in charge of that too. So this is an important role for them. They also get a bonus on that. So we're going to go to that bonus section in a minute. Inventory and product management. So they're in charge of the front desk area, but also the retail area. So clients are checking out with them. And if someone's not buying retail that day, it's kind of like on them to ask them how they like the product they bought last time. Do they need a refill? So it's really up to both the stylist and the front desk to make sure people are leaving there with the proper products to ensure the style and color maintenance of their hair. Weekly responsibilities, make sure that the inventory is accurate, make sure that there's no missing products that magically happen in salons. Any kind of station stock that the stylists are using, make sure that's being handled properly and being wrung out the right way. They have to have knowledge of products. It's important that when someone calls, they have a problem with the product they bought, they know how to articulate that to that client. Parts and labor. This is a system that I use. This is something I use to recoup my color cost. If you want to learn more about that, shoot me a DM, say parts and labor, and I'll talk to you about it. But this is the best system I've come up with in 25 plus years of doing hair, how to recoup the color expense. It's important that they understand how that works and that the stylists are recording the proper amount they're using and the clients are paying for the color they use. Operational excellence standards. Before they step away from the front desk, make sure someone's at their front desk to help them out. Make sure they understand exactly if they're leaving for the day or they have a family emergency, they get coverage. So during the absence, the covering staff handles all guest interactions professionally. They're going to train people as well. So any new front desk assistants coming up, they're going to be responsible for these people. So it's going to be a very similar experience for each guest that comes in, no matter who's at the front desk. Stylist notification protocol. So if a guest arrives, they have to make sure that stylist knows and not just like wave to them, tap that stylist on the shoulder and say, hey, your 2:00 Brenda, make sure you use the name, is here. There's a system for that and a reason, because now the stylist knows that client's name. And if that's a new client, they can greet them by name. But if it's not, they know Brenda takes a long time for their hair. So they can mentally start preparing for how I'm going to do Brenda's hair, where I'm going to fit her in if I'm running late. That's super important. Message excellent. When somebody calls a salon to leave a message for somebody, get that person's full name, first and last, and phone number. Write down when they called, write down the time, the nature of that, the urgency level, like how important is this? And when would you like us to call you back? As soon as possible. It doesn't matter. Next day. That's all need to be recorded in some kind of a note. And then make sure you deliver it to the right person. Hand it to that person. When they come to the front desk, give it to them. If it's an emergency, let that person know right away. So there's a little protocol for that as well. Walk-in and call-in procedures. Make sure that all walk-in guests are being warmly greeted upon arrival. If someone calls for an appointment, make sure you schedule that, but make sure you let the person know that, you booked them an appointment that wasn't in the book 10 minutes ago. Compensation. So put the hourly rate. You could change it. We started, between $15 to $18 an hour. This role is a higher paid position. So they also are going to get quarterly increases based on achievement. They're going to get a bonus. So every new client acquisition, they will get 10% of that first service that they bring in. So the chat the chair and the simple client flywheel, these are two methods used for marketing. If this front desk coordinator brings that person in from one of those marketing strategies, we're going to give them 10% because they're going to reach out to that person and they're going to almost close that person like a salesperson. So this is a super important role. And the upside of that could give them so much more financial bonuses that it's a really rewarding role. I give them a commission on retail, 3%, 5%, and 8%. Retail is a big part of our industry, and I think a lot of people forgot about how important retail is. So let's get the whole team involved in the bonus structure for that. Now we're going to have some bonus and performance standards. So here are the standards for getting promotions or just honestly excellence across the board. So master execution of the simple client flywheel and demonstrate proficiency in chat the chair method. $150 daily retail sales average. Obviously, your salon is going to be, it might be more, it might be less. 95% client satisfaction scores. 100% financial accuracy. That draw has to be dialed in every single day. An hour social media and DM response time. So if someone leaves a message on Instagram, hey, want an appointment, have a question, during business hours, 1 hour. If you're really busy that day, obviously we know it's going to be, a little longer, but we try and nail down that hour. 48-hour post-service follow-up completion. make sure that someone's following up with the new client at least 48 hours. So let's go. New client. 100% special get 100% special occasion recognition. Hey, Jennifer, is there a special event coming up you're getting a blowout for? Is there something, anniversary, birthday? Make sure we know that so we can let the stylist know, and there might be a free gift for that person involved. It's just nice to know that if they're going to an event that the stylist knows about it, you know about it. If it's a birthday, we give them a happy birthday greeting and some kind of a gift or a gift card for the salon. The timeline, master all basic systems, 1 to 3 months, 4 to 6, advanced customer service and sales training, 7 to 12, leadership development opportunities, and then 2 years plus management training and advanced consideration. At advancement opportunities, they can become a salon coordinator, assistant manager, a department manager. There's opportunities for them in our salon organization. Now, what we agree on. As a salon owner, we agree to give you training, the necessary tools, competitive compensation, and a supportive environment. You agree to master all these systems and procedures, maintain the highest level of professionalism, and contribute positively to the team's success. You agree that you receive the front desk handbook and this position agreement. We all sign off on it, and that is the position agreement for the front desk. So a lot of times people aren't properly trained and taught how to do their position. So you want to make sure that you lead them you lead them into a place where they're successful. You give them the tools. With this position agreement, they clearly understand exactly what they need to do to achieve that position's success. If you don't have this and you just tell them, a lot of people forget. It goes to the wayside. Being that it's clearly outlined, you can always go back in your meetings or when a situation happens, be like, hey, Jennifer, remember right here we said about the chat to chair method, about the chat to chair method? And you said, yeah, no problem. You love it. You signed off on this. What happened? Are you not comfortable doing it? Is there a problem with the way we do it? It gives you the ability to now be like, hey, I told you about that, right? And they're like, oh, no, you never told me. No, that doesn't happen anymore. They signed off on it. So there's really only a couple of reasons why people don't do things. They don't know they should be doing it. They don't know how to do it, or they're not motivated to do it. So this kind of eliminates the first two. They know they should be doing it, and you have all the handbooks for them so they know how to do it. Now, if they're not motivated, that's a whole different conversation. So this is my position agreement for the front desk. I hope this helps you really put a person into that position, and they help your salon just elevate its level of professionalism, excellence, and success. So if you guys want more information on what it's like to develop this system for every role in your salon, shoot me a DM on Instagram, DM me the word grow. We'll see if you're a good fit for the Level Up Academy in our community. And if you are, I'd love to see you inside the community. Have a good day.